Hello, kindergarten. How are you doing today? This is Mrs. Tan here, and we're going to be doing some math together today. All right, I'm going to start by reading you a book, okay? And today we're going to be celebrating the number 5. Number 5 is a very important number. We have 5 fingers on most of our hands. We have 5 fingers on our toes. Look, my dirty feet there. All right, and so today we're going to be reading a book, 5 Little Sharks Swimming in the Sea, okay? And on the front cover of this book, we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we've got 5 little sharks swimming in the sea. Now this might remind you a little bit of a song or a little chant that you've done before, okay? If you guys know 10 little monkeys jumping on the bed, this is 5 little sharks swimming in the sea. So it kind of goes a little bit the same, but it's a little bit different. So you maybe made a connection there, okay? And do you guys remember how to show me how you make a connection? You take your fingers, kind of like the OK sign, except then you hook them together. And that tells me, without you saying a word, that you've made a connection either to something else in your life or that you've made a connection to something in this book that you've seen or heard in another book that you've read. So don't forget, if you make a connection, to let me know, all right? So 5 little sharks swimming in the sea, all right? This book is by Steve Metzer. He is the author of the book. That means he wrote the words. And it's illustrated by somebody different. Laura Bryant wrote all the pictures, or drew all the pictures, drew the illustrations in this book. So she's an illustrator. All right, I always like kids to notice the front cover to help them find some clues in the book. Even when we're doing math, anytime we look at a book, we're going to look at the front cover and try to get some clues and use our good reader brains, okay? All right, you also need to know that this is the spine and here's the back cover. And sometimes on the back cover, if you've read with me before, you will know that on the back cover, we can sometimes get clues there. So I'm looking, and here I see 6 sharks, but 5 of them are small, and 1 is much larger, and is kind of dressed like a mama. I wonder if it's their moms. All right, well, let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and let's read this book together, okay? All right. Now, if you're in Mrs. Tan's class, you know that I usually don't show the pictures because I want you to use your wonderful imagination, okay? 5 little sharks swimming in the sea. So here is the title page. And sometimes we can get clues from the title page, but all we see here is something similar. It's not exactly the same. It's a little bit different, but because it's only a little bit different, we use the word similar, okay? So it's similar to the front page because there are 5 little sharks swimming around. 5 little sharks swimming in the sea. And here we can see them. Can you count them with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we have our 5 sharks swimming in the sea. Look like they're having fun. They have smiles on their faces. 1 bumped into a giant manatee. The mother called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more sharks swimming in the sea." Look at that one. It went boom, and it bumped heads with another animal in the sea, another creature called a manatee. And so there's Mama. Oh, we were right. That's the mama shark. She calls the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more sharks swimming in the sea." Now, I want you to notice something here. These sharks, they're wearing clothes. Does that really happen? Yeah. This book must be what we call fiction. Can you say that word? Fiction? Okay. Fiction means that it's fantasy, that this didn't really happen. We can know that a book is fiction because when animals start wearing clothes or talking like people or using telephones like people, we know that it's a fiction book. Well, let's see what else happens in our book. 4 little sharks now swimming, splashing on the shore. Okay, there they are splashing around. They're still in the sea, but they're by the shore splashing around. Count them with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. One got stuck on the ocean floor. The mother called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more sharks splashing by the shore." I think the mama could have figured that out on her own without calling the doctor, don't you? Look at him. His nose is stuck on the ocean floor, and the rest are just looking at him. I guess he's not going to get to play anymore today, huh? Ouch. 3 little sharks racing past a whale. All right, so now there's only 1, 2, 3 sharks left and 1 giant whale there, right? And they're racing. Uh-oh, something tells me something's gonna happen here. What do you think is gonna happen? Can you make a prediction in your reader mind? One got close and banged his tail. The mother called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more sharks racing past a whale." You don't want them to get hurt. The doctor says, "No more racing a whale." Look, he bumped his tail pretty bad, huh? Oh, he's hurt. How sad. Now there's only 2 of them left. 2 little sharks playing hide and seek. Here they are, covering their eyes. Well, one is hiding and one is seeking, I think. So there's only 2 of them left. Okay, let's see what happens. One got lost and was missing for a week. That's a really long time. The mother called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more sharks playing hide and seek." Here he is. He's lost. He doesn't know what to do. Now there's just 1 left. One? One little shark swimming all alone. He looks pretty happy to be swimming all alone. But there's something I know about sharks. Do you know this about sharks? They like to eat fish. And because he doesn't have anybody else swimming with him, guess who's going to get to eat all of the fish? That's right. It's a shark. That's a lot of fish, too. Guess what? Ate too much fish and began to groan. You can go, "Oh, he ate so much his tummy hurts." The mother called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more sharks swimming all alone." Okay, so here they all are then. Yep, gotta get them all back together. Oof. Eat too much. Now there's 0, right? We know that number. No little sharks swimming in the sea. No little sharks happy as can be. So here there are 0 sharks, right? We see 1, 2 seagulls, but 0 sharks. The mother called the doctor, and the doctor said, see, here they are. They're all just laying around bored. That's not really healthy for them either, right? If you just sit around all day. No, they need to do something healthy with their time. We'll see what the doctor tells them to do. And now, the doctor says, listen to this, "Let those sharks swim wild and free." So, this mama shark and the doctor said, you know what, it's probably better for them to be running wild and free and maybe getting some bumps, getting some owies. That's okay. Kids heal really quick, right? Yeah. It's more important to be having some fun, as long as you're trying to be safe. Okay? And then let's see what happens in the end. Here we go. We have Mama Shark, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's our number for the day, number 5. Thank you for listening to that book with me, okay? We're going to go ahead and we're going to look up here. I'm going to get my handy dandy marker. Now, you will be getting out either a piece of paper or hopefully, you have found a math journal by now. And you're going to turn to your next clean page. So don't just turn to the middle of your math journal. You need to turn just to the next clean page in your math journal. And we're going to make a new page for the number 5. Okay, because that's our number of the day, the number 5. So on the page, I want you to write the numeral for the number 5. And that's just another way to say number. Numeral, number. Can you say numeral? Can you say number? Yep, mean the same. So here we have our numeral 5. And we're going to write a 5 right there at the top. Okay. All right. And then we're going to write the word for the number 5. So here's the numeral. That's the way we represent it, like that. And then over here, we're going to write the word for the number 5. So there we go. We've got a lowercase f, a lowercase I, a lowercase v, and a lowercase e. All right? So here we have the numeral for the number 5, and here we have the word for the number 5. Okay? So I want you to try to write this on your own. If you have a little difficulty, if you make a small mistake, that is okay. That's not a problem. And if you're just not quite sure how to copy it from what I did, it's okay to ask somebody in your family, hey, can you very lightly write this word for me, or can you write it in a highlighter, like a yellow marker or a highlighter, and I'll just trace over top of it. But I do want you to try it on your own first before you have somebody else do it for you, okay? You try it on your own first. Now, next up, we need to find a way to represent the number 5 in a different way, okay? And for the past week, you guys have been learning how to draw some shapes, or draw, I think it was apples the one time, or somebody in my class drew eggs to represent their number of the day, okay, to go along with the story. Now, if you wanted to, you could draw 5 little sharks, all right, but I don't want to waste your time today. If you want to draw 5 little sharks, that would be pretty cool, all right? But you could also draw 5 circles, 5 rectangles, 5, if you want to be really fancy, trapezoids or something like that. Or you could draw 5 peaches, or 5 Legos, or 5 of anything, all right? For today, just so I don't waste your time, I'm going to draw 5 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Now, this is all you have to do. But I always like to challenge people, okay? Because this is great. This is great kindergarten work right here. If you can do this, you are on the ball. You're doing wonderful. But if you're looking for a bit of a challenge and you want to take it a little further, there are other ways that we can represent the number 5 also. So if you want to challenge yourself today, you continue watching this video, okay? And you can kind of follow along with me for the number 5. All right? Who's up for the challenge? I see some of you are. I can't wait to see your work when we get together for math. All right, so one of the ways that you can represent the number 5 that we don't have up here yet is on a die. Yeah, I called it a die. When there's 2 of them, we call it dice. But when there's just one, we call it a die. And if you look on, you know, the little things that you roll for board games and stuff, hopefully you know what those are. Here we have the number 5. And this is the way that it is represented on a die. All right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots. And they're represented just like that. There's 2 on top, 2 on the bottom, and 1 right there in the middle. And if you see that combination of dots, your brain is going to instantly know, oh, that's the number 5. I know that. Okay? And if you don't know it yet, you're going to learn it this year for sure. Okay? 5, 5, 5, 5. Now, we can come up with other ways to represent the number 5 also. Okay? And so I'm going to show you some of the different ways that we represent the number 5 in kindergarten. Okay? So our next one that I'm going to draw for you is this. I'm going to draw this. So you see there's an arrow and then it's like a big line, but there's going to be an arrow on this end too. Okay? And we're going to make some little marks along this line. And the first one, we're going to label that one as, let's go with 0. Okay? Do you know where I'm going with this? You might. This one is going to be the number 1. Now you want to try to space them about the same length apart, same width, I should say. Go over here, draw another little line. This is going to be the number 2. Do you see a pattern happening here? You should. 0, 1, 2. Then comes 3. Then comes 4. Then comes 5. And I'm going to go ahead and keep drawing 6, 7, 8. Okay, and it keeps going on and on. But we want to indicate where the number 5 is on that number line. And that's another way that we can represent the number 5. So if you want to go ahead and you want to circle the number 5 on your number line, that would be great. Or if you want to make this, look really dark and really tall, that's another way to represent. Right there's the number 5 on the number line. And it gives us an idea of how much 5 is. That's how much 5 is. 4 is less, 3 is less, 2 is less, 1 is less, 0 is less, okay? 6 is more than, 7 and 8 are more than number 5. Okay, another way that we represent the number 5 is we could do it with our hand, okay? You could trace your hand. I'm not going to trace my hand though because I don't want to get marker on it, but since you have a pencil, you should be working with a pencil right now, you could do that. So I'm just going to draw my thumb. I'm going to draw my fingers. Okay. I'm just going to do the best I can. And I'm going to show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, I'm not a great drawer, and you don't have to be a great drawer. Okay? As long as you get your idea across, that is all that matters. Okay? So, 5, 5. Another way to make 5, 5, 5, 5. Do you believe there's more? There is. I'm going to teach you another way. Now, in kindergarten, we're going to work with something quite a bit. We're going to work with something called a 5 frame, and then as you get a little bit older, we're going to work with something called a 10 frame. Okay? I'm going to introduce you to the 10 frame today because we're all the way up to the number 5 anyway. So, you're going to make big rectangle, okay? And then you're going to split that rectangle right in half, right like that, okay? So now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, just like that, okay? Try to make all of the squares equal. You can see that mine is a little bit crooked. That's okay, all right? Just as long as you're representing number 5. So we call this a 10 frame, and I'm going to fill in the 10 frame with dots. I'm going to make them solid dots. And I'm always going to start right here. We always start here and fill in the top row first, and then we go on to the bottom row. But today, we're only going to put 5 dots in it, so don't go to the second row. This row is going to be empty, but I'm going to fill in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. There are probably lots of other ways that we can represent the number 5 also, okay? So if you want to challenge yourself, you can try some of these other ways that I've done here today. Or if you're just feeling it today and you're not quite ready, maybe for today you can do just these for the number 5. And then maybe tomorrow for the number 6 or for the number 7 on Wednesday, and so on and so on. You can try challenging yourself like this. Guys, thank you so much for listening to our math book and our math lesson for the day. I hope you have a great rest of the afternoon. And don't forget to hang on to this. Hopefully you have your math journal. And maybe, just maybe, it might be your day to share during your math lessons or your math groups. Okay? I hope you all have a super great day. This is Mrs. Tan signing off from math. Bye.